Welcome to the vlogs, and yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I kind of meant to do one on E3, but I kind of got sidetracked with other stuff, and by the time I realized it, a week's gone by, so I don't think any information I give out will be very palpable. Even with the Pokemon reveals, I think everyone else has handled them pretty well, so I don't really feel the need to do anything E3 related. But something did happen that I can yell about. Well, not really yell. This isn't really a rant video. This is more of a examination of a situation kind of thing. So if you've not done internet for the past few days to a week, welcome back. We missed you, buddy. But the situation is Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 came out and it was not very good. In fact, a lot of people can say it's absolute crap to decent. But the general consensus is it's ultimately a gigantic letdown from what we were promised beforehand. And it's led to an issue with Kickstarter. Of course, everyone's been iffy about Kickstarter from the very beginning. Kickstarter and, Steam Greenlight and all that stuff. But I think that with my number 9, we can have a full discussion on this. First off, I want to preface this by saying I haven't played my number 9 myself. For what I hear, the game is very glitchy. There are issues on pretty much every system you buy it for, unless you buy like a PS4 or something. And I haven't. And I was gonna get on my Wii U before I decided to switch over to get on my PC because I'm getting into more PC games currently. And it's a good thing I didn't get on my Wii U because apparently I've heard rumors that it bricks systems, and I really don't want to get my Wii U bricked considering all the fun games I have on it. Not to mention the pain in the ass it would be to go through again a new Wii U. And even then I hear the PC version is glitchy as hell too. There are frame rate drops, it crashes from time to time, various bugs here or there. Essentially the game is very, very much not really good. But the main point is, even if you get all the issues, the bugs, and whatnot fixed, it still won't be a very good game because it doesn't seem to understand what makes Mega Man Mega Man. Now, I'm not a hardcore Mega Man player. I've played the Zero series, the ZX series, the Battle Network series, the Star Force series, and some of the classic Mega Man series, as well as some of the X series. But I haven't gone back to play like every Mega Man game, like every Mega Man X game, thank God, because X7 is just bullcrap, or whatever. X7 was the one that went to 3D, right? Yeah, that was absolute bullcrap. But yeah, I haven't played every Mega Man game. I haven't even played Mega Man Legends, and I really do want to play Mega Man Legends eventually because I really wanted Mega Man Legends 3 to be a thing. So, here's the point of this. Pretty much the design focus of every Mega Man game has been jump and shoot. It's all about precision as well as platforming. My number 9 is to take that out of the element and adds in a time trial feature. Essentially adds in a sort of time trial feature, in the fact that you're trying to get to the stage as quickly as you possibly can. Now, the whole dash mechanic is something I'm not 100% against. I do feel there's a place for it in a Mega Man style game, that's not how it's implemented here. I feel it was implemented poorly, as well as the fact that the scoring system is kind of stupid in the long run. I mean, Mega Man 1 had a scoring system, but they kind of dropped that after the first game into more of a standard Mega Man game. To the point where no Mega Man game has had a point system aside from the first one. And it's kind of hard, and then poor anyone says, well, my number 9 is its own different thing and wants to be different from Mega Man. It was literally built off the back of Mega Man. This is something that we want to be in Mega Man's successor. This is essentially the next version of Mega Man, the Mega Manning, basically, sort of like a Highlander thing. Like, we were all hoping my number 9 would be this amazing Mega Man return to form, but it's not, and ultimately fails to get what made Mega Man great in the first place, and ultimately fails at being a decent game on its own. Now, that's all well and good. It would just be a disappointment, but the thing that makes this a bigger issue is the fact the game was a Kickstarter game. And that brings up a whole nother set of issues. Now, before we begin, for those who don't know, let me explain Kickstarter. Kickstarter is basically a service where you put money towards a product before its release. In this case, a video game, you're helping fund the development of a video game. so that it doesn't have to go through a traditional publisher in order to get funds. So basically, indie games. You're helping fund indie games by independent studios who often can't afford to basically work on a game full time, so they either do it part time alongside their other stuff, or they'll use the money to help pay their funds while they develop the game or get hardware and whatnot until they can finish the game. In this case, My Number Nine was a game that made millions of dollars. Like it is the most crowdfunded game up to date. Like no other game has made as much money as My Number Nine has. And because of that, everyone's going to be looking at Kickstarter very suspiciously now because My Number Nine failed. My Number Nine failed to deliver what it promised, and it failed as a game overall. So, what does that mean for the future? So, before I begin with the possibilities of what this means, I'm going to state that I have Kickstarted some games. I haven't Kickstarted any like the big major games people think of when they think Kickstarter. Like, I didn't fund My Number Nine because I didn't have any money. I was unemployed at the time when the Kickstarter was announced, and through that whole time period, I did, however, fund Skullgirls. They're Indiegogo, which is similar to Kickstarter but different rules here and there, so that they can get more DLC characters. As well as I put some money towards Indivisible, their Lab Zero's next game after Skullgirls. Uh, I didn't put any money towards Ukulele or Bloodstained, the other two major games people think of when they think Kickstarter. I would I would have liked to, but again, financial difficulties at the time of the Kickstarters and everything balancing out. Um, and so, basically speaking, what does this mean for the future? Now, before I keep saying that before, I just have to talk about topics. So, basically speaking, why was Maddie Number 9 such a big success as Kickstarter? Because Keiji Inafune. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. I don't have much practice saying the guy's name, even though I do know how to pronounce it, if that makes any sense. Basically speaking, this guy is the father of Mega Man, one of Mega Man's two co-creators who made Mega Man. They made the design, made the game, made everything about Mega Man. And so everyone was kind of hyped when he said, "Oh, I'm making a new Mega Man-esque game for all of you fans." Everyone got so hyped behind it, and it led to other creators like Ukulele. Ukulele is being developed by the guys that made Banjo Kazooie, former Rare employees. Bloodstained is being made by the father of Castlevania. This led to a trend that is amazing. Like old guard studio heads old guard game developers who, for whatever reason, decide to go against the traditional publishing system and get their games out there other ways. Kickstarter is a perfect way for that. So on top of that, it's a perfect way for newer developers to get their names out there without having to sell their soul something like EA or something. I mean, Toby Fox kickstarted Undertale, and Undertale is currently speaking one of the most popular indie games of all time. Let's see how that lasts at the end of the year, even though I don't think the fandom's going to die down anytime soon, hopefully, because this is an amazing game. Anyway, this essentially casts a shadow of doubt on all of that. We're looking at a new golden age where, basically speaking, we could get people who basically we can get more Alan Moores, people who are against the traditional publishing system but still want to do their own things. Like we can get a lot more Alan Moores out there. For those of you who don't know, Alan Moore is the comic book artist slash comic book writer who did Watchmen, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, all that. He's famously against traditional publishing. Like, so famously, he never takes, like, those movies, Watchmen, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and V for Vendetta, another comic he did. He has never made any money off of them. And so basically speaking, this system could have led to more Alan Moore-esque developers, old guards, bringing up new things, reviving old styles of games that basically developers and publishers have said, no, people aren't into this anymore. Like Undertale, like in the traditional publishing sense, Undertale would never exist if it wasn't for Kickstarter and things like Steam. A Ukulele would never exist without Kickstarter. Bloodstained, especially because the Konami thing, would never exist without Kickstarter. But no, only one of those three games came out and it's proven to be really good. We'll have to see if Ukulele and Bloodstained come out as good as they promised to be. Like Number 9 came out and was absolute crap. Now, I can theorize all day about what went wrong with Number 9. and I accurately say when I'm wrong, I have no idea when I'm wrong. It was either on development end, the product end, something went wrong somewhere, and we all got the mess. Now, I do hope that on top of the whole My Number 9 thing, there was the whole Red Ash thing, and yeah, I would be totally behind a Mega Man Legends esque game. However, I think kickstarting your game, your second game before your first game was out, famously after several different delays, it's kind of funny. It led to a whole debacle where everyone was saying Red Ash, the kid you defend just wants your money, he's not really that great anymore. And they were right. They were kind of right. No, My Number 9 came out, wasn't that good. I'm having doubts about Red Ash currently, even though I still didn't kickstart that game. The Kickstarter kind of got cut off beforehand because they managed to find a publisher. And, I'm just disappointed. So, what does this mean for the future? Well, I'm going to say for the future, we're going to be a bit more cautious when it comes to Kickstarter games. It's sad but true, we're going to be a bit more cautious about our money, all that stuff. But I will say this will quite possibly rise to a good thing because we could have more ukulele as examples, like Indivisible. Indivisible, when they kickstarted the game, or Indiegogo with the game, whatever, they put out a full playable demo of the game, like the first stage of the game or some stage of the game. For ukulele, they didn't give us a demo, but they gave us a full in-game footage of the game running. Bloodstained, yeah, had concept art, the word developer, all that, some similar to My Number 9. But eventually, the demo came out. Demo was good. I haven't played the demo yet, so I don't know myself. But again, these are success stories of Kickstarter. Like, I generally think we need more Indivisibles and more ukuleles that give us taste of the game before it comes out. Like, okay, here's what we have so far. Here's what we want to do with all the what the money gives. Here's what we want to do. We managed to get to this point. We need money to finish the rest of it. That's what I want to see. I think that's probably the future of Kickstarter. Outside of just concept art and promises, considering how many failed Kickstarters there are. Let us see some effort that you're going forward with the game in question. Again, I do think Kickstarter is the way of the future when it comes to funding independent games that are slightly bigger than your average independent game. Get some full teams on there, get some staff on there. I don't think it's the way of the future, and it's been hurt now, it's been damaged, but it's eventually gonna get right back to it. I think maybe around the time Ukulele or Bloodstained comes out, we'll all be singing the praises of Kickstarter again. But only time will tell, and only time will tell if any more amazing games are on the way or down the pipeline on Kickstarter. In fact, I'm probably going to start searching Kickstarter every so often to see if there are any amazing products that might be worth putting forward. So, with all that said, what do you feel about My Number 9? How do you feel about Kickstarter and all that? This has gone on for a bit long for a vlog, but I generally want to get my opinions out there on this whole matter, even though I don't think anyone's really going to watch this. So, till next time, see you then.